There we go. Record button is working because the place I'm sending the video to has space for it. And you're welcome to rub in Dark Wolf. Like, it wouldn't have happened if you uploaded everything. So
I did. I literally said that to Coffee as soon as you stated that your hard drive didn't have space.
Yeah.
Shaking fingers at you. Shaking fingers at you.
Fingers are absolutely allowed to be waggled in my general direction.
I will take over your channel again if I have to. Until these videos get uploaded.
Maddie, somebody needs to do it.
I have like 250 something games.
Is this an external drive? Because
no,
yeah, just look at
no, it's an internal one. Unfortunately,
I still don't have your thing.
Yes, it.
Because we haven't.
I need like 3 of me to exist at the same time and place.
Which is weird, because whenever you install a game, it's on my.
I was gonna say we can hear the background.
Yeah. You might want to do push to talk or something.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, quiet.
That works too.
Because if there was any way that I could just do that for you, Maddie, then I would set all of that up. I would upload it all.
Well, I'll tell you, there might be something. There might be something to work out in that regard. To act as a sticky note for me, Coffee, just like send me a message on Discord and just go like, hey, the thing. And when we're finished, that way we can get to playing and then we can talk about it after. And by the way, for all of you out there, thank you for stopping by on a Friday evening to join in our game.
Speaking of messages, if and when you're doing another color challenge, I can do Chroma Company artwork. I'm not going to do that for my channel. I would do it specifically for yours.
Okay.
Because this game is broadcast on this channel.
All right. Well, I mean, not that I would mind if you did, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, I don't have a way to like give prizes to anybody at the moment. But if you did something like that again, then I would submit artwork for people to color.
Okay. Well, then y'all heard it. So it won't be this week, but now there's an idea. There's a marble rolling around in the noggin that I can.
To add a marble, I have also been very tempted to do a cuddling contest.
Ooh, all right.
So.
The more the merrier. I love this stuff.
So much community participation, y'all. Let's do this.
Yes, absolutely.
So maybe sometime.
What was I? Message for later. Marbles rolling around. Oh yeah, and then we'll discuss YouTube.
Yes.
That way, all of our stuff can be put up for our own posterity as the players in the game. But you all can enjoy it if you want to, sit down and marathon through the story, because maybe there's things that you haven't picked up yet as an audience member, or I guess even as a player. You go back and review it. The VODs only stay up on Twitch for, I think, 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And
non-subs get ad breaks every, 20 minutes.
Really?
On a VOD.
Oh, that's gross. I don't even think that's a setting I can adjust, is it?
Nope. That is a Twitch VOD thing.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, then, yeah. So much for that.
You need to get your VODs up so that, those of us who maybe can't support the channel financially can still appreciate the content for free.
All right. So where we were picking up, you all were aboard the Repentless, making plans after having shorn up, the things at shore. That included being proposed to, having a party, having sentimental interactions with each other and with various NPCs, Mordecai, such as your mom and your stepdad, Lucius.
Yes.
And after having made a tentative plan and deducing some clues, or at least trying to narrow down where the heck could Merkuri have gone herself, let alone with a 5-headed dragon named Tam, then, well, let's try and get a hold of. Let's get a hold of Kazimir and split our efforts, because Kazimir obviously has a very vested interest in recovering Tam, and not only would it be helping Kazimir as much as you may still hold some sort of friendship, affiliation, or you just don't want to see a creature suffer. But Kazimir also told you that he would help you in return to bring down the Sky Shatter Leviathan and or Shonaroth and or, probably wouldn't mind getting a claw tearing into Miss Merkuri as well, if you're able to, converge.
And slash or maybe we just.
Yes. There are options on the table. And so you had, I believe we left with you all deciding to go to the monastery, which is located up here in the Brow Mountains. And you were, through Bright, you were going to be sending Kazimir up further north. Now we're going to expand the map out. And you all would go from here, and you want to send Kazimir up into Aslandia, through the desert maybe not along with Operation Welcome Mat, but to venture up in that direction with them as a Mesotopian expeditionary force is actually going to be going into the wilds in between Mesotopia and the Shadowheart Empire in the northeast.
If I remember correctly, we wanted him to go along the mountain.
Yes.
That way he could kind of keep an eye on both.
Yeah, you want
countries.
him to. Yeah, well, I mean, he can't exactly like stalk the expeditionary force directly from the mountains, because they're making a much more like direct northeasterly bend.
Well, I don't think we were having him track them at all.
You just wanted him to go in that general direction.
Yeah.
We wanted him just to go in the Shadowheart direction.
Okay. Well, the mountains will take him up that way. And he can also move more quickly than an expeditionary force. So there's that. So Bright, that is also a recap for you. And did you have any questions or concerns as to the plans or things that were going on? Bright, we did make sure that you were able to cause enough mischief to hopefully work a little bit of that out of your system.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to do that. I'll have to go back and rewatch the VOD.
Yeah, we were thinking of you when you made things delightfully awkward at the proposal. So,
which is the best kind of awkward, and really the only kind of awkward. If you ask me.
So you were very much with us in spirit. I don't believe, though, you did other direct things. So if there's something like a last thing that you want to tell us that Bright would be doing, in specificity, besides watching the emotive Kyburners or causing mischief, then you can sneak that in before this point in time where you all have boarded the Repentless and are going to be making your way up here.
Yeah, I mean, did I learn anything about the Kyburners?
Right now, it would seem that that Gaspard is making them in ways to, I guess, focus on one aspect at a time, like one ability besides just being able to move and do tasks.
Okay.
The ones that are emotive are... There's an unnaturalness because of the way that their bodies are made, so they're not fluid natural motions or reactions, but the reactions are occurring at times when it would be appropriate to at least simulate the emotion or physical reaction that occurred.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, aside from that, I think we used you for to be a calculator for various plans or proposals or contingencies. In fact, Bright, you were the one who suggested that Mercury might actually be going to Shadowheart itself, because, as you recalled from the vision about the combination of Selter and Cypher, there was a very bright orange tiefling who was instructing the child emperor of Shadowheart, and it came out in the conversation that all of you and Selter and Cypher were having aboard the Repentless. But it did come through in that regard that she actually might have fled to Shadowheart, because she has influence there, supposedly.
Okay. It's good to know.
Now, despite that, or you can come back and revisit and argue that the plan changes, because we're just at the outset or the execution of the plan. The current one, though, is that you all are going to take the Repentless and go to the monastery, because that's a place where people also learn, and Mercury seems to have a thing for maybe more matronly pursuits of teaching or bringing up the next generation, or exerting influence in some way. But any of the major port cities were up there. There's the fort, there's the casino, and then there's the monastery as well. And I believe that we could take the many of the more traditional Mesotopian learning places of learning off the table, because those in Uct and Fallfire, well, they're a little preoccupied right now, or abandoned or ruined.
Let's go with preoccupied.
That is a much more positive sentiment.
Positive outlook is important.
So then, any other either like questions to me or observations, or are you fine going to the monastery and sending Kazimir up towards Shadowheart to investigate?
I mean, it sounds fine with me. It sounds
Yeah, I
like
think
something
that's
I would
it.
have proposed, and I did propose it.
But,
did?
Yeah,
That was totally you.
but like my only suggestion is if we don't find her at the monastery, to double check the volcano.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the volcano was also brought up.
But that'd be after.
Be like a detour.
Yeah. Well, I might be able to scry on the volcano because we've been.
Yeah, because that's
Yep.
a place that we're pretty dang familiar with. Pretty intimately familiar with that caldera now.
All right then. You did try to, or at least it was brought up. Well, could we possibly scry on Mercury or Tam? And the result that you had come back with is, I can't locate them. So they have some sort of baffling anti-magic to being divined.
Yeah, I've tried to scry Mercury a few times and it never works. So it just doesn't work on her. Tam, I don't know. I don't really know Tam that well, but I mean, if Kazimir tells me about her, then maybe I could do something. Do we have any like scales or anything from her?
Not for
We
her.
have one from Kazimir.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need that one. Okay.
Well,
No, unfortunately, I mean, you know that she's a 5-headed mutant dragon. How many of those could there be?
Yeah, but we've not actually spoken to her at all.
Yeah.
Also, I believe today's my last day of weak baby arms.
Ah. All right then.
Nor more babu arms.
Then
To the monastery.
yep, you all board the Repentless. Well, you are on board with the Repentless. Kazimir has been contacted and given a set of instructions, and you all are going to make your way there. Do you want to take just the most direct route? Do you actually want to? Did you mention like you want to fly? Like you want to go to the mountains and then like fly over the fort, fly over the casino, like follow the mountains up, or do you just want to go to the monastery?
I don't think we have any reason to even check out the fort or the casino because they're not places that that seem like they would be up her alley. Places of learning are up her alley, and especially as weird as it is around children.
All right then. So you can make your way there. You could go slightly out of your way if any of you wanted to stop to pass over or to stop at the 6 landlords, as that's right here
We could.
on your
It's
way.
always fun to stop at the casino, but I usually get kicked out after about an hour. So.
This casino assuredly has various anti-mischief procedures and magics in place. But if any of you are in a pinch for money, the casino is there.
I mean, if
Yeah,
we go to the
that's a
casino,
gamble,
we
that's not
could maybe get enough money for Loki's stuff.
Nope, I'm not risking our money. I would rather invest our money in things that are going to cause positive growth, not negative.
Boring. Okay.
Also wouldn't let us take the Oathbow out on a loan, would she?
Well, I guess I'll just have to archive this casino slide here then. All right. Well. Then
we still haven't figured out.
for going those two, did you want to do anything in particular over or at the 6 landlords, or just continue?
I think we're just going to continue for now because the sooner we find Tam, the sooner we'll find Merkuri, and the sooner that she won't be a problem that we have to deal with anymore.
All right.
Especially if she's influencing Shadowheart behavior.
Then you are continuing along at, well, as brisk a pace. The Repentless has never been a swift craft, but considering you can pretty much go anywhere as the crow flies, then it makes things a lot more of a direct trip. But you will be spending otherwise, like if you're just going on foot, like this would be this would take several days for you to do. But you'll be able to spend most of a day just going at a slow, steady pace over Mesomasca. You pass over the 6 landlords. The carvings are still there, still being worked on. Still have been around for the older ones for quite a while. And
as they're kind of passing over it, Mordecai's just saying like a silent, prayer of blessing on them.
Yeah.
But nothing too extravagant. Just I don't know, just kind of muttering words for the sake of positivity.
Well, what is the sentiment you want to Is this to the people? Is this to the figures? Is this to the mountain itself? Or
Just if she has the power to do so, for Zubuel to maybe bless them in some kind of way because they've had a positive influence on his life.
okay.
Like whatever. I mean, she's the world. She can do that however she likes.
All right. Beyond
kind of-
beyond this very serene scene of Mordecai at the railing here on the top deck, looking out over the mountain that's been carved into now for a very long time. Is there anything mechanical? Not that you have to for an effect or no effect, but is there any mechanical spells or traits of your clerichood that you want to put behind your sentiment?
You have plant growth?
I don't know. That's not a spell that's on the cleric list.
No. It's a dirt spell.
Yeah.
It's a very land spell.
Yeah.
I don't have
Well, I
anything
think it's
specific that I
domain
wanted.
for some domains, but not grave.
Nope.
Definitely not grave.
No, it's there's not really any kind of mechanical spell that I'm really putting behind it, as far as like what I have like on my list or prepared or anything. It's just sentimental, I guess.
Okay. Celine has earthquake, so
That's not going to do a lot. That's not going to be helpful in this situation.
Okay. The sentiment is there as you are, as all of you are flying over here. You are getting looks from the people just living their lives in this very quiet community. They've probably never seen a ship like this before, and it doesn't look anything. Well, it doesn't even look like the owl-carried wooden carriage that was first, your first pickup from there. So you draw a little bit of a crowd. As you're passing over, kids are running through the dirt streets, like in the shadow of the Repentless. It's actually that's a cool name. In the shadow of the Repentless. And so like they're
like a
waving,
song
or
title.
parents are like pulling them back. Like no, don't. People who are carving various visages into the mountain, stop and they're wiping the sweat off their brow, looking up at the airship and looking. Some just shrug and go back to work. Others do just stare as you continue to pass by. And up. Slow and steady progress. Being up this high, despite it being summer, there is a chill in the air, which is, while the ground is very verdant and summery, it is another reminder of what is to come, what is on the horizon, especially because you can see the horizon pretty well anywhere on the Repentless.
Yep, winter's coming.
You all now approach the monastery, and I suppose on the way there, the topic is brought up by DJ, who will come to find each of you, let you know that you're getting close, but that the monastery doesn't really have a place to land, and wanted to know how you would like to be deposited in or around the monastery?
I mean, if you just get kind of close, we can all fly down.
I only can do that for like a minute.
Oh, no, I can do that for you.
Yeah, my wings disappear after a while.
You don't need your wings.
Okay.
Trust me, I can do this.
Okay.
All right.
Then magic, or Norlai.
He tells you if that is your wish. Not that he knows much about the people who live there, but depending on how you choose to make your entrance, well, you only get first impressions once. So, that is your...
Kind of land behind an outcropping for all of us. Just
Why
so we're not.
Why don't we just descend with bright glittery lights?
Because
that's the best way to do it.
Because that's a lot of pomp and circumstance for an investigation that we're kind of doing under their noses.
We're not investigating them.
Lie.
Why?
He's afraid of heights. He's coming up with excuses.
Oh, you don't have to be afraid of heights. I'll catch you.
But pride. I'm just gonna ruffle her hair a little bit. I mean, okay. I've been getting it's been a little easier lately. However, making a big show out of all of this is going to announce to Merkuri, if she's here, that we're coming.
Wow.
Nobody just drops out of the sky with all this glitter and pomp and stuff willy-nilly. It's not like wizards fall out of the sky every day.
I mean, this one kind of does. Points it right.
We do that though.
But that's not an everyday occurrence. We
don't just fall out of the sky. We feather fall out of the sky.
Oh.
I mean, there's that, yeah. But still, that's not an everyday occurrence. And we're kind of rarities. You know? If we make a big show of things, then people are gonna, like, I don't know, try and rope us into something when we've got something else going on already.
I mean, we're kind of already roped into, like, saving the world, so, you know. What could they add? If anything, maybe the people at the monastery will help us because they see we're flashy and able to save the world.
Or call us all lunatics and shove us all out.
I mean, there's that.
Because to most people, that's what we sound like.
I mean, we don't have to spout nonsense. We just need to be flashy and get the Chroma Company name out there. You know, the healing words go around, and they make big flashy shows and concerts and such, and everyone knows them. And you know, we're like, oh, we're an entertainment group, or troupe or whatever, and we don't actually entertain.
I'm the only musician out of all of us.
I play flute.
You've been getting better over the last few weeks.
I've been practicing for almost a year.
Yeah, but what it means is that you didn't start getting better until the last few weeks.
He wasn't here the last few weeks. You don't know.
Norlai, I appreciate the sentiment. I do.
He's better at dancing than you, at least.
He just kind of looks at you like, Really?
I took ballet.
When?
When I was young.
How
And then-
young?
6,
'Cause-
7. And then I practiced on my own.
Because you
So-
said that you were on the streets since you were little.
Yes. So I took ballet before that. It's about 6 or
What-
7.
When you said little, I was assuming you were meaning something like,
No,
4 or
it was
5.
7. No, I've said this before. I was 7.
oh,
Just because I'm short doesn't mean I was young.
Loki does pipe up. But you're not so short anymore. You did a lot of growing up.
Well, some of that's the magic. I still haven't gotten to my proper height yet.
we are the Chroma Company, yes. I think we do less entertaining and more philanthropy these days.
Yeah, but we still need to get our name out there. I mean, Old Port knows us, but like not really much people outside of Old Port know us.
Oh, I'm going to hate this.
Well, I like Norlai's idea of going in and making our presence known and building a reputation, says Loki. But if any of you wanted to, I guess, jump overboard now, we can meet you there. Maybe we can flush her out, and if any of you want to skim across the mountain with your magic, then you can find her that way.
No, she's right. If we thinking about it, if we all kind of just do the whole flashy bit, and we draw her out, and that will have accomplished what we were setting out to do anyway, which was to draw her out.
Yeah. Plus, if we draw her out, if she's here and we draw her out immediately, we can call Kazimir back before he gets too far.
Right, yeah. I just don't like dropping out of airships.
You'll be fine.
Nor
We've done it before.
We've done it before, and I've hated it every time. Every goddamn time.
You'll be okay. I can make you fly.
That does not help in the slightest.
I mean, it does. You're not gonna fall on your butt and break anything.
You see that he's kind of backing to something that is solid on the repentless, like a wall, and kind of like trying to hug it as close to that as possible, and staying as far away from the edge as you can. From
Yeah,
fly over.
You back up into a solid wall. You turn around and hug it. DJ clears his throat. Asks if he can help you with anything.
Hold on. Norla's gonna fly over, wrap her arms under Mordecai, and then realize she has baby arms and cannot actually lift him, but is attempting to lift him.
In which case he just hangs on to DJ.
No! You can fly, trust me. You'll be okay.
DJ, uncertain of how to respond to the situation, just resorts to the default of petting you on your head to try and comfort you.
Norlai,
What?
I love you, but it's called an irrational fear for a reason.
Okay, well, it's irrational.
Yes, that doesn't make it stop.
Okay, well, maybe you should rational out of it.
we're thousands of feet in the air.
And we can fly. We're flying thousands of feet in the air.
And we're wanting to jump out of the airship.
We can go a bit lower. We just really can't land.
Loki speaks up. Wait, I think I remember something when you came for me. Noralai, do you have some sort of a spell, like a balloon spell or something? I swear.
Yes.
I thought I saw something like.
Yes and no. Actually, I think I got rid of that. I can make us fly. That's all you need to know. And if you guys fall, I can also make you float. So
you can make us fly.
Wait,
yes, like fly, like an hour.
You have balloons?
You know, sometimes I float.
Yeah, I swear it was like it's like she was a balloon, like someone was carrying her around by her tail. It's kind of blurry.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. I think that's different. I don't think that's a spell as much as it is a misfire.
Yeah.
I can make you guys fly, trust me. I'm good at this. You know I'm good with wind and storms and such. I can just make us fly.
Okay. Cast the
Alright.
spell.
Okay. It's not really a spell.
Lorelei. What is it then?
I can just do it. And she just kind of like gestures, puts her hands out, and a burst of wind flows out of her and surrounds you guys, each of you. And you guys all have a 30-foot flying speed for an hour.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Not exactly what I had anticipated, because I anticipated, like, something arcane.
No, I can just do this.
That's very different. How did you do it?
Well, you know what? You know how I just like don't let it rain on me? It's like that. But I just make you guys fly.
I feel like it's my coat that's flapping more than it is I'm flying.
Trust me, you're fine. Look, you're already an inch off the ground.
Mordecai, you say that, and Noralai, your brother, like kind of floats over to you and kind of rubs his nose and is indicating that there's something else that's flapping around in the wind, and he's trying to be a good brother about it.
Just subtly lowers and wraps her tail around her.
Yeah, just like hold on to it.
Wearing your tail like a belt.
Yeah. Yeah, Loki just kind of like his cheeks are a little flushed, but he sort of like gives you like a little like turns to you just so only you can see it, but gives you like a little thumbs up. And
Noralai is Marilyn Monroe right now.
Yeah. But it's like in that rush, like, oh, I can do it, like lifting up almost like Storm, you know, like the wind is going through her hair, and she's got like this elemental power. Bright, the powerful wizard, is baffled at how this can happen, and but lost was a detail in the cool factor. So your wind.
She gets for wearing shorts. A short skirt.
This is why Bright wears longer skirts.
Yep. I prefer more conservative style of dress. Now you know why.
Oh, it kind of makes you look like a
Quality
parasol as
overall.
you sort of like drift down. If you got like
I
the
need
big
I need
umbrella
to sew some
skirt.
copper coins into the bottom of my skirt.
Oh yeah, to weigh the hem down or something.
Yeah, lay it down.
Yeah. So the wind soul emanates from Norlai, wraps around you all, and well, you have an hour, and you can, if you want the repentless to, well, I don't know. Do you still want the repentless to show up at some point, or do you want it to veer off and pretend like it's going elsewhere while you bail overboard and fly the rest of the way yourselves?
I mean, you could just like go to like a casual cruise speed, and we'll jump out. But it doesn't have to like veer off anywhere.
Or if it's only going to be like a couple of hours, or maybe like overnight, the Repentless could stop by the capital.
Oh.
And reconnaissance and do some like actual look, maybe not actually looking in, because Cypher and Selter don't really leave the Repentless, but seeing if there's anything that they can learn.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to send them off to the capital.
Monastery.
So like in an emergency, it would take them some time to get to the monastery from the capital, but they can start veering off to the capital, and then you all just go overboard and make your way to the monastery.
Do we maybe want to send Loki with them? As he should have the sending stone, so he can contact us, but he can also go to the ground for Selter and Cypher.
Yeah, you can go with them. Yeah, that seems like a very good use of an NPC. Yes, Loki can go with them to the capital and then, do some investigating at the capital for like a day or overnight or whatever.
Okay. Loki is slightly disappointed, but also still has some excitement. Like, no. I can do this. No, trust me. I'll dig up some dirt while I'm in the city. This is like getting back to what I used to do.
Yeah, find something out if you learn something. If Mercury's potentially there, then you can always call us on the sending stones.
Though one thing to ask, I would kind of need some money if I'm going there.
Mordecai, can you give him his allowance?
So what have we actually spent on this kid right now, as far as his gear?
As far as the gear, the only things I want to for sure purchase is the bracers and the sending stones.
Okay. So how much was that?
I believe they're both uncommons. And we did roll for them, but I can't find the rolls because they were a while back.
Maddie, do you have logs for the rolls that we did for that? Because I did not actually subtract that from our total because we hadn't actually confirmed it yet.
No, I read off what the rolls were to you all. I was expecting you to take notes on the cost of the items that you wanted.
Balls.
I only remember the stuff we're not getting because the cloak was 5,000 and the oath bow was 15,000, and we're not getting either.
What is the commonality of sending stones?
They're both they're uncommons. These were both uncommons. I can re-roll for it.
And it was sending stones and what else?
Bracers of archery.
Bracers of archery.
Which is just a +2 damage to bows.
I think I found the rolls. It's in the archive.
There was so much I couldn't tell what was what.
So they would have been D5 rolls if they were uncommon magic items.
Yeah, 4d5.
Okay. So 400 for one.
The 4d5 were 4, 4, 4, and 1 for a total of 13.
I don't think that's it.
No?
Because there's 2 uncommon items, so those would have been 2 different D5 rolls.
Mm.
Yeah, if you know how to access an archive, I have no idea what that means.
If you just scroll up in chat, it says click older. Or it says click for older. Which I was looking through earlier, but I couldn't figure out which rolls were what.
Let me see. That was me rolling 2d20. Oh, view all chat entries for this game. Oh. Well, I'm going to take that off screen. Bloop. That opened up in a whole new window.
If it's easier, we can just re-roll.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the time or patience to learn this aspect of Roll20 right now in the middle of the game.
I wouldn't put it past Celto to change her prices on us either.
So roll 2d5.
Two and two.
All right, they're 200 apiece.
Okay.
200 apiece.
So 400 for him, and then however much you want to give him for allowance.
I'll give him another 50 gold.
And then when he gets back, probably we can look at a +2 or 3 bow for him instead of the oath bow.
All right. Sounds good. So he's off to the capital, and we're off to the monastery.
And how much money are you sending with him?
50 gold.
50 gold. All right.
Oh, I was also going to say he does know Thieves' Cant, and I believe also has criminal contact background.
Okay. So I made a note.
You're insisting on this, Maddie.
I'm not saying it can't happen, but I just want to be prepared in the case that it does.
Not that we're going to be there to see it.
That's right. You'll just have to believe him.
He comes back with 500 gold. Yeah, I won this pit fighting. Did you?
Of course he did pit fighting. What else would he do?
It's how you solve everything in your downtime. You want to rest, you pit fight. To find out how hard you rest.
Maybe if you're a barbarian. Or a fighter.
All right. So with the setting sun, dipping into the ever receding waters of the sea. You let Norali's wind soul lift your bodies and maybe your spirits off of the deck of the Repentless, and you say goodbye to Loki and DJ as the Repentless begins a slow turn. Again, it's not the most maneuverable of ships, so it takes a little bit of time to do, and it begins a trek over to the capital. As you all then are going to whisk down and fly the rest of the way to have a little bit more. Well, you could still make an impressive entrance flying in, or you can sort of hug the rocks and
No,
make
if
your
we're
way.
if we're gonna fall out of the sky, we're gonna do it with the pomp and circumstance it deserves.
Okay, so yeah, you could fly the rest of the way and then just come down right in the middle of everything.
Superhero landing.
Okay. As you are skimming across the mountains, arranging your entrance, grand or otherwise, you can see that there is a small monastery with several buildings that are nestled among the cliffs and the mountain peaks here in the Brow Mountains. And in the middle of it all is a large, well, not necessarily a lake, it's more like a spring, as water wells up from the mountain to create a giant, like a mirror, really. The whole, like, spring is very smooth, very reflective. And that water, at some point, makes its way through the mountain and does come out as a waterfall that you all might remember seeing in some of the other art like that has been put up for the channel as well. But there's a big waterfall that comes down, even on the map. You can to go back there real quick. And the source of the water for the lake itself is seemingly this spring at the top of the mountain. Maybe it's a glacial lake or something. I don't know, but there's not a lot of ice right now. Anyway, kind of weird, but there it is. There are buildings of different styles, and there is a path that if you did reach a more traditional way of entering, then you would have taken the many, many steps up and made your entrance to the monastery that way. But here you are flying in, as you do.
As the four of us are wont to do.
Yes.
I'm gonna use some dancing lights. Make us sparkle as we float down.
Yeah, I'll prestidigitate up some pyrotechnics as well.
Okay.
I'll also use thaumaturgy. I'm gonna make like a trumpeting sound.
All right.
We're being announced.
Norlai, if you turn upside down, they can't look up your skirt.
I'm fine.
So coming down
Okay.
among the sound
That goes
of
for you too, Mordecai. I mean, just in case.
I'm not wearing a skirt.
I know, but I mean, just for future reference.
I mean, I have before, but I'm not currently.
Celine reassures you, it's fine. Let him see it. Asserts dominance as you are descending down. And Celine doesn't care. She's flapping in the breeze. So amid the sound of blaring trumpets, magnified by thaumaturgy, the sight of pyrotechnics produced by backstage manager Bright. Mordecai, do you want to say or do anything on your descent?
Oh, he's watching the ground creep up closer and closer, and he's just trying not to have a panic attack.
All right. Sure.
That's what he's concentrating on right now.
Roll a charisma save for me.
Oh, charisma save, huh? I'm good at charisma saves.
Oh, yeah.
30.
All right. You can keep your composure, but despite the wind and cold, there's still just like a sweat on your brow as you're... Enhance your calm. Enhance your calm. Enhance your calm.
So, Mordecai, this is what it's like for birds on the ground.
Anxiety attacks?
Yeah. Birds are afraid of lows.
That's valid.
As you all are descending, there's places where a party of 4 could more comfortably descend than a gargantuan airship. And there's similar to the reaction you got from the residents of the 6 landlords. You do have residents or monks or denizens or whomever that are here. Some have stopped what they're doing and are watching. You're not quite getting the children running through the streets, but you are getting looks of confusion. Some people are giving you looks of like revulsion. Just like, no one. Maybe it's a good thing. No one's running out with, a bunch of spears or crossbows and are, shouting orders at you or anything. There is a group of people that are, they're following you, like, as you're descending to presumably whereabouts you're going to be landing. They do not carry weapons, and they are dressed rather humbly. Though there's no real uniform you're seeing among the people. There's common styles where everything here is rather simple in appearance. I mean, look, you got to lug up building supplies or whatever up a mountain. You probably don't want a bunch of fancy stuff, but you're definitely not seeing that this is an organized religion itself. This isn't like the various functionaries of the faith of
Like
Ouijas,
the temples.
where they have uniforms of your station, or that it means that you're from this this particular branch of faith, or like you're from this like diocese or whatever. So there's a uniformity in, I guess, the simplicity of appearance, but people do appear different here. And you make your appearance known as the fireworks are reflecting off the giant still pool in the middle of the monastery, and the trumpets are resounding and echoing off the mountainside. It is quite the scene.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Judging on some of the varied appearance, do I know some of the distinctions? Like if there's like some kind of like religiously customary greeting, or some other kind of like cultural greeting that I would know?
Roll history at advantage.
History advantage. Hell yeah, I'm good at this. Ish. 16.
So it's a place that you've probably never been before, especially with the circus.
Yeah.
But It's hasn't been quite a contentious place like the residents of the six landlords are, because well, probably the residents of the landlords are a lot more accessible, or rather, well, they're people who are like us. They just choose to live out in the countryside, and they have their own quaint way of, of having their faith. Kind of weird or backwards. They're their own people, though. They really don't come into our towns, so they keep to themselves. We keep to ours. Here, this is it's kind of a oxymoron. This would be more cosmopolitan. It is a reclusive monastery, but this is a place that where people of different faiths, in fact, faiths that maybe no one else shares, but it is someone who believes fervently in their philosophy, or their god or goddess, or their take, can come to meditate or to preach, can come to study. So it has an attraction like a university, but it doesn't. There's no formality to it. You don't necessarily walk out of there with a degree in something. You can go there to research, or you can go there just to honestly get away from the world because you want to be left alone. There's a lot of reasons why people would end up here at the top of the mountain. It is slow. It is peaceful. There are things that you're expected to do, so it is a sense of communal living despite the differences in philosophies. But despite the wide variety of philosophies, there's just been an acceptance. If you're here for some reason. You might be a weirdo. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're here from an academy to actually study us in some sort of anthropological sense. So there's not really a custom greeting that they would have, aside from, I don't know, greet them how you would greet them, because you may very well meet someone from your part of Mesomasca, let alone Mesotopia, because this place draws from Mesotopia, the region, not just, hermits or other people from the island.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's a little bit more, like you said, a melting pot in a way.
If the six landlords have that more classic Amish style, this is kind of like a hippie commune. So, very, very much you'll probably find people walking around in different fashions, if they even choose to wear clothing, because be close to nature. Drum circles, talking about different faiths and philosophies. It's the age of some sign or another, or peace and love. We're gonna grow flowers and put it in our hair. It's that kind of a feel in out of character terms. This is like a big hippie commune.
Okay.
So, Norlai, turns out you didn't really need to be worried about them looking up your skirt, because wow, look at that.
Because
See, I told you it was fine.
Yeah, so you're seeing a lot of different people in a lot of different states. But yeah, you descend down, and there's a small group of men and women who are dressed in various ways, who are here to greet you. None of them are bearing anything that's overtly maybe a sign of leadership, like pins or some sort of like a golden necklace, or everyone has red robes, but this person has a super bright red robe or anything like that. So you have a halfling woman who does step forward from the the welcome committee, whoever has showed up here, curious onlookers, and she's dressed very plainly, like pretty much like a potato sack. I mean, given her stature, it may very well actually have been a potato sack before it was what she is deigned to wear. Welcome, guests, to Neutzelfer Fo Flaseno. Is there a way that we can help you? What do you seek here?
Oh, well, to be perfectly honest, there's someone we're looking for.
Oh, there's plenty of people here, though that someone you're looking for may or may not be here, and I don't just mean physically. There are people who choose to come here and leave themselves behind.
We're looking for an orange tiefling woman.
So if someone came here and left themselves behind, would that mean that they're here or that they're not here?
Ah, excellent. Yes.
Or potentially both. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, I see that we're going to get along great.
Well, is this person that you're looking for always orange? Sometimes orange?
You know what? Probably sometimes orange.
She's
I'd say-
been known to
I'd say
change shapes.
predominantly orange.
Oh, well. There are certainly people here who can do that. I guess, not to be combative against you, welcomed guests, but people's shapes and colors and that, they're not always relevant or permanent. So,
It's a curious thing to say.
I
Is there anyone here who really does not like Ouija's?
certainly more than a handful. In fact, a person in the welcoming committee just like smiles and raises his hand.
Okay. If she decided she didn't want to be an orange tiefling, you know, I don't think she would change the fact that she doesn't like Ouija's.
No, she definitely has beef with
So-
the goddess of
so-
death.
Maybe we should just talk to everyone who doesn't like Ouija's.
I wish, ma'am, that was something easy to help you with. But as we all are taking observations of our lives and our concepts, that's something that could change on a daily basis. I've gone through several such transformations in my own personal thoughts and philosophies.
Well, we'll start there. Probably someone who just not just doesn't like her, but just really dislikes her.
This person also tends to want to adopt a sort of teacher role in the circles that they tend to cultivate, predominantly with children.
Well, we are all children in some way, and we all teach and learn at the same time. The best way to learn is actually to teach, my friend. So many people come here for that reason. I didn't know what I didn't know until I was made aware of the things that I didn't know.
Well, let's narrow down from that. Does anyone come to mind when we describe someone who really doesn't like Ouija and is kind of like teachery.
Oh, you could talk to any of the preachers that have taken up residence here.
All right.
How
You
many
want to
is
just
that?
you want to point us in a direction? Or actually,
She looks
oh,
around
she's-
and
Alright.
points like kind of upwards at a 30-degree angle. That's a fine direction. The wind was coming from there this morning.
Okay, she's gonna turn to the person who raised his hand. So you don't like Ouija? Is there like a circle of people you talk to?
Oh, well, you know, there are some people that I do talk to, but sometimes they really upset me and I don't talk to them. And I talk to other people as well.
Great. Who was the last person you talked to that didn't like Ouija?
Oh, my dear, it was me. I talk to myself all the time.
Other than you, who have you talked to that doesn't like Ouija?
Outside the self that is currently me? Wow.
I'm not sure that we're making much progress in this conversation. Look, we're the Chroma Company, and my name is Mordecai. He turns to the halfling. What is your name?
Ah, Mordecai, it's a pleasure to meet you. She reaches up to shake your hand.
And he shakes it.
I am known as Ott.
Odd.
Ott.
Okay, odd. We're looking for a woman named Merkuri. Or she has been known to go by... Oh, did she have another name she goes by?
I
really
don't
know.
only.
But I
I've
feel
only
like
known
I
her as
should have known
Mercury.
that if we've heard about it. But I don't remember that out of character.
I don't either. But she's a demon. A creature of
But
magnitude.
sometimes she
from
doesn't
hell.
look like a demon.
Are you here to find this demon? To perhaps... Are you here to fight this demon?
Find this demon.
She's been causing a lot of ruckus in the world. She's creating portals between the worlds and hell to have energy siphoned out of that place and into this.
Oh, yes, of course.
And so,
But she also kidnapped someone. So we're looking for the person she kidnapped.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Is this person someone close to you?
It's the
The
wife
friend
of
of a
an old
friend.
friend. It's the wife of an old friend.
Are you so sure that she did not want to be taken?
maybe she did. But we can't know until we find out.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they seemed really close, so I don't think she would just leave.
Well, I certainly hope you can find what and whom you're searching for. The laws of the various lands do not always apply to this place. Not that I'll stop you from searching, but if you're here under a legal authority, I don't know how much I can cooperate.
We're not part of a legal authority.
It's not really legal. We're doing a favor for a friend and trying to make sure that his wife whether or not she chose to leave is okay.
Uh, During this stay, do you require lodging then?
Uh, Probably just for the night. If I don't know, how long do you think that they're gonna be?
I'm expecting that we'll be here more than a day. I don't know.
I'm
Lodging is desirable, but it's not required.
There's certainly room for you in the initiate hall.
That sounds perfect. I'd love to be initiated into something. I think my friends are going about this all wrong. Just between you and me.
I mean, if you have a different approach, Bright, I mean, you're welcome to do it.
You can't
We're just
approach
asking
people like
questions.
this, like you're police detectives. You have to meet them on their terms.
Okay, I mean, we're just asking questions.
That's
We're not
It was
like
very rude of us
enforcing
not to
anything.
introduce ourselves first, so...
Anyway, I would like to meet your initiates in the hall. Do you have a lot of initiates here?
Oh, yes. We have initiates of all ages, shapes, and sizes.
Well, that's good. I'm all of those things myself.
Wonderful! I look forward
You
to
can't
seeing
tell.
some. I would be glad to share some with you as well, if you want to stay, learn, share. These are different qualities that we value and appreciate here.
That seems great. I'd really like to meet people who believe odd things, because I think we'll have a lot in common with them, because we've learned that a lot of the things that most people believe aren't really right. And in a place like this, where people can share their opinions on a fair and welcome ground where everyone's treated with respect, I think we could learn something really important.
Absolutely, and where challenge faces you around every corner.
I don't doubt it.
Let me peek around a corner here. I don't think that one has a challenge. You might need to get your groundskeepers over there.
I don't believe that's true. You looked, you sought to find something and you didn't. I believe that you had been challenged to seek something and you failed. There was in fact the challenge, which you found by seeking, though you didn't find
That's a
it.
very good point. Yeah. Okay.
I've
I
never
can
been
go
very
along with
good at
that.
philosophy. This is more Celine's alley.
Well, it's not necessarily philosophy. It's religion. You're good at that.
Good. Even that I'm not that good at. I may be a cleric of Zuviwa, but I'm no expert.
You might find people here who know more about Suviwo. They might be able to teach you some things that you could have so much to share because you have so much power but so little understanding, and they probably the reverse. I think it could be really beneficial.
I mean, you're not wrong, and we're probably only going to be here a day.
I think we'll be here more than a day. Hopefully not too much more, because we got things to do. We're very busy. But I don't think a day is going to do it.
You don't think that, well, Loki wasn't going to be gone to the capital for very long. Only about a day.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I guess. Hopefully
Nothing
he doesn't run
happens
into trouble.
quickly in a monastery. A monastery is just like a university, except everyone has tenure. So imagine how little actually gets done and how slowly it happens.
You seem to know a lot about monasteries,
Your
right?
observations are interesting and worth thinking about. At least
You know
for
a
this
lot
one.
about the subject. Yeah, you know a lot about the subject, right? Is there a monastery in Uct?
Not really. I'm just going by my experiences in school.
If it's easier for you to understand, Mr. Mordecai, this is not a place where you come to study. You come here to be studied.
Sure.
You cannot just learn by observing. You cannot learn by studying things. It is a process that requires that which is observed to also observe.
And what do you observe?
Well, I've observed many things. I have observed the nature of myself, the things that I like and don't, and why. And how does that lead into a fulfilling lifestyle?
We were talking about me briefly. What have you observed about me? That was my question.
Oh. Well, I've observed that you are a man of conflict. You carry yourself in two ways well, in this very instance. You're outgoing, but retract inward at slight provocation. How to describe it? It's difficult. You're like the sky. Bright and beautiful, and very blue, but tumultuous. And perhaps now, looking at your eyes, quite cloudy. But your eyes do speak more about you. Yes, I can see. In fact, I very much can see that you have pupils. A rare thing.
I do.
Beautiful thing at that. She actually, motions for you if you don't mind, bending over so she can look into your eyes.
It's at this point Mordecai's getting a little uncomfortable with all the eye contact, but he obliges.
She, as you, you are acquiescing and bending down?
Yeah, I'll stoop down to her height.
Okay. And she's just making direct eye contact. Eyeball, not eyeballs touching, but eyeball to eyeball in this case of... She's looking into your eyes, but also through you. So she's not even focused on you, but what lies beyond you. If anything, that she can sense. And she then goes to she grabs she doesn't grab your cheeks, but she places her hands on either side of your face like this as she's doing so. And as you are lost in her eyes for a moment, and I would like you to make a wisdom save, please.
Okay. 21.
In this process of introspection, you...
What? Could you give me a water?
Through your own feelings of maybe awkwardness or what's going on or even suspicion,
I'm in the middle of
You
something,
do
so
feel that
Thank you.
the texture of her hands has changed as they rest on your cheeks, and that now that you've caught on, the eyes that are looking into your own have also changed. Now, to Norelai, and I mean Celine as well, and Bright, what you have seen and what Mordecai will soon realize after this eye contact is that in the course of this brief interaction, the halfling in the potato sack that you've been talking to has turned into a monkey. And Mordecai, as you unfocus off of the eyes, you see that the woman you're talking to is a monkey in a potato sack, also reaching out and still is touching your cheeks, and you're still looking into those eyes, but she has changed.
Hold on.
You
Wait,
can
I
do
thought you
that?
said a monk, but you said a monkey? Okay, you must have cut out there.
Yeah.
She is now a monkey.
A monkey.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Tail and all.
I am baffled because I don't know that I've seen anyone but Bright pull off some kind of change into a creature.
I mean, Jade could probably do it. Norlai could probably do it. I don't know. Probably.
No, it would be cool,
He's-
but I don't think I
He's,
can.
he seems
I mean,
like
I've turned into a sheep, but that wasn't on purpose. That was on accident.
he has seen the polymorph
Not a
spell be
more
cast.
of a misfire.
He's seen polymorph be cast, but it didn't look like her hands were busy for casting a spell. She didn't utter anything. She didn't say any words, so she wasn't casting a spell. She just changed right in front of him, and he's looking at her baffled. What? What even is this place?
The monkey before you in the potato sack grins, though no words are said, but despite that, there's still a understandable emotion that is coming off of this creature. And in a way, Bright, this is going to send your mind to the reflection of the Kyberners and their attempt at emotion, where it's understandable. Though what you're getting now from this animal is, obviously very authentic and organic. But the monkey smiles at you, Mordecai, and simply reaches up to grab your hand and points with the other one in a direction towards a building.
At this point, he is just gonna run along with it because this place is weird. The world is weird. F it. Well, let's find out what this weird monkey woman wants to show me.
Sure. Norelai and Bright, are you going with?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go with, yeah, sure.
Okay. So, Mordecai, you have to bend forward a little bit, but the monkey has rather long arms and leads you all towards a building. And the building does have more people going into and out of it in various styles of clothing, if that. And the monkey stops, makes a sweeping gesture to the building, looks at you, Bright, and it waddles off. And you all are left alone now. As the reception crew, at some point during your eye contact, Mordecai, maybe they lost interest or whatever they were curious about was sated, and they had wandered off, and now you're left with no one but yourselves as even the monkey wanders off.
I have never understood people who speak in metaphor far too often. It's
I've
hard
heard
to
there's
understand and
similes.
follow sometimes. Well, we're at this building. Let's find out what's inside. What are we
Yeah.
gonna learn next?
I mean, you
That
hardly
people can
even know what
shapeshift
a
into
meta is
animals
for,
without
right?
spells?
Yeah, I mean, she could have been a druid.
I've never met a druid in my life.
Well, that's a thing they can do. Or she could have.
They're pretty rare, though. I've only
Yeah.
heard about them.
Or she could have, been someone who can change their shape at will. Some people can do that.
Some weird shape-shifty.
Oh, you know what? I used to be able to cast spells without moving my hands.
Yeah, or it could be something like that, where she could cast a spell
I kind of forgot how to do that, though. So.
without you noticing it. Yeah, there's lots of ways it could happen, or it could just be. I mean, it could be an illusion. It could be like when we do a show and I'm behind stage doing illusions, but they appear on the stage. Maybe she had someone, who was helping.
Yeah,
I don't know.
could be
There's lots
someone
of
else
things that
turning
could
her
happen.
into a monkey.
Yeah, did that seem in any way magical to me, just watching her? Maddie,
Did the what?
did her transformation seem magical at all? Like something, like a spell had been cast on her?
Something obviously had to have happened, unless you are going insane and you've been talking to a monkey the whole time and you just now realized it. But as you observed, there was no chanting, there was no hand waving, no powders or crystals or incense. You were talking to a halfling in a potato sack, and at some point, that became talking to a monkey in a potato sack.
It's weird. Well, let's go find out what's here. The only, like you said, right? The only way that we're gonna probably learn anything is through whatever process they have here. That's, if Mercury's here, then she'll make herself known eventually.
I don't think she's here, but maybe we can learn something about her. We might even be able to find someone that's a follower of hers. I think that would be really useful.
Maybe.
We might even be able to find someone who's a follower of me. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Oh, I don't know. Well, that seems like a lot of responsibility to be on that kind of level.
I mean, when I was in Oiho, right, I had a whole city practically. We don't know. Maybe somebody was there and visited, or got out of there. There's been a little bit of.
Well, if there is someone that follows you, maybe we can get them to help us against
maybe
everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of possibilities.
Well, I've never. Well, okay. I've always wanted to be a hero, but like, I've never really wanted hero worship.
Well, this is great we're talking about.
Being a hero and having hero worship seems like a lot of responsibility.
You get used to it.
Bright, there is another gnome who is walking out of this building as you all have been deposited here outside of it, and is looking down at a handful of plants that he has, and stops, looks up at you all, and his eyes scan over, well, the four of you. I mean, there's three here, but over the four of you. And Bright stops on you, and a big smile crosses his face. His eyes just light up. They sparkle in the sun as you're high atop the mountain. Blushing cheeks. And he steps forward. Looks at the flowers and the vegetation in his hand. Is looking at you and down at the different blooms. Picks one and offers it to you.
Okay, so I have a bunch of questions. How far away, like how much higher up are we?
How much higher up what?
What didn't you say, like he was down in like we're up on some kind of a ledge and he's way down below? Isn't that what you said?
Oh, well, you
No,
probably need to walk up a short thing of steps to get to the into the building. But
Oh, we're at the bottom and he's up there. Okay, that's also
yeah,
good.
if the building
there-
looks like this gate, then the monkey let you to the stairs. And then you can walk up some steps and go into the hall. But this gnome
Gotcha.
walked out.
Gotcha. Okay. So next question. Is the fly that we got from Norlai still in effect?
It lasts an hour.
I'll say you still have maybe 10 minutes of flight.
Delightful. Okay. And then the next question is, what does he look like? Is he old or young? Is he gnome? I mean, he's a gnome, but is he rocky or foresty? What's the whole deal?
You're definitely picking up forest gnome vibes. And in fact, you're rather convinced that through just his own, either his nature or his actions, he is bald. I mean, and to the point where there's no eyebrows, and he doesn't have hair, although he does have a wig made of moss.
That's kind of funny. I mean,
But it is very clearly a wig. Like it actually is like slightly askew on his head, and you can see like the gap between his skin and where like the sod, like the foundation of it starts.
so it's clearly not natural moss.
Well, it could have been a patch that he like tore off a rock, like like a lichen patch or something, kind of plopped it on his head.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend to go up the stairs, but I'm actually gonna fly. So I'm like 3 feet over the stairs as I go up them.
Okay.
I'll go up to him. I've seen humans with less realistic looking toupees.
He looks. So he watches. Big smile, and he's maybe middle-aged. He's either that or maybe he smiles a lot because he has a lot of wrinkles at the sides of his eyes, and in his cheeks as well. I mean, he looks good and healthy, but he has a lot of like smiling wrinkles. Walks over to Celine. Looks down, looks up, gives her a flower. Mordecai, he does the same to you. Big smile, gleaming teeth. So his eyes aren't the only things that sparkle in the sun. And then Norlai, he approaches you last. He looks at you, looks down at the flowers and vegetation in his hands that he's carrying. And he actually frowns at you. Not at you, like you as an existent being are causing him sadness. But he seems disappointed. And he says something in Gnomish. I don't believe you can speak Gnomish.
I might know it because me and Bright have been practicing it for all the time that we've been hanging out.
Tell you what, roll an investigation.
A rudimentary understanding.
Actually, I have it listed, so we might have said that I know it, or at least know something about it. 15.
you're having trouble translating it? Like, is something about a flower, for sure. Something about a flower, but either you misheard him or something weird. As he speaks...
Maybe it has a funny accent.
It's not even so much that it's a funny accent, because he spoke rather like slowly and word by word. But maybe your brain wasn't ready to get the words into it, but it has something to do with about a flower and watching. But he smiles again at you, Noralai, though this time there's a tear that is formed in one of the creases from his wrinkles, and it falls down an otherwise actually smooth cheek, and he wanders off.
I kind of want to insight check that.
Did he? He didn't say anything to me, and did I understand the things that he was saying, or was I too far or something?
Your shenanigans might have removed you from the soft spoken words that he spoke to Noralai.
Okay.
Not that Noralai can't repeat the words to you, but you didn't hear them yourself.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hey, Bright. I don't know what he said to me. And I will try to correctly pronounce the words that he said to me to Bright.
Okay. Yeah, you try to pronounce it word by word back to her. It's clear to Bright that your accent needs a little bit of work.
Well, I mean, Gnomish has 77 different sounds, so it's not a surprise.
And there we go, audience. That is our weekly Gnomish culture building tip.
Yeah, I only got one of those words. We haven't practiced like all week, so.
That is what Noralai repeats back to you, Bright.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so it's mostly just about a flower, but he's speaking in a metaphor that might, well, it might actually make sense to you, actually, because you had Herbert for so long, and I tried to save Herbert, but he didn't make it out of Oiho. Anyway, it's just this notion that a flower. Do you have the flower that he gave you?
He didn't give me a flower.
Oh. Did he give anyone a flower?
He gave everyone else a flower.
Yeah, everyone but Noralai has a flower from him.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So, yeah, so...
I'm gonna cast Locate Plants or Animals and look for sentry vines.
Okay. You do not detect any.
Well, it's not a Herbert.
No, I was just meaning that it was kind of like what you had with Herbert.
Roll your d20 as well.
Where even though he was just a plant, he was also your friend. And it's kind of like that. Okay. It's like how the flower works almost like a focus, where you can, if you see the flower, and then the flower helps you reflect on your own feelings. What is going on?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, continue. The flower helps focus.
Yeah. Right, yeah. The flower helps you focus. It it will reveal your own feelings back to you as you focus on it. Most people don't realize that a flower can do that, and it's not really like an active thing where the flower has to take an action. It's just more about, well, like I said, it's like a focus, almost like a spellcasting focus. You know how those work, but it's
Yeah.
for your own. But it's for your own mental state.
But why didn't I get a flower then?
He might want you to work for it.
Okay.
I think you should, instead of finding sentry vines, maybe you should have looked for him, and you could go after him and find out.
He's not an animal or a plant, though.
Oh, you don't have locate creature. Oh,
Yeah, no, I just look for plants or animals.
oh. Well, you could locate his wig.
I mean, he's not that far. He just walked that way.
Also true. You could also just go look for him. I think that's what he wants you to do.
Can you go with me? Apparently I'm not that good at Gnomish yet.
Yeah, of course I'll go with you. My guess is he probably knows Common, but he's just, he wants it to be a puzzle, so he's using a language that you don't quite know. Yeah. That's the sort of thing gnomes would do.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go inside then.
Okay, we're gonna follow the gnome.
Okay.
Have
Then.
fun.
Oh, what's that?
Have fun.
Bright and Norlai are going after the flower-toting gnome, and Celine and Mordecai are going to go inside the building that the monkey had brought you to. I'm gonna give us a quick break. I need to get up and get something to drink. So let's take 10, everyone, and we'll come back and we will continue the monastery investigation, and the if not the investigation, then perhaps the insight instead, as we explore this part of Mesomasca, which has not yet been explored in the game. And I hope y'all are going to have fun with it. So anyway, everyone out there, if you have any bits to throw in, or if you re-up a sub, take a look at the break screen, and in particular, Bright. Her cupcake will do something interesting if you cause some bits or other things to drop onto it. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. See you then.
Can give you headphones.